Wiregrass classes use Blackboard as the main means of accessing the course materials. This is also true for all the math classes that Wiregrass offers. So for our class, both Math 1111 and Math 1012 will have this format. The first page that you'll go into when you access the class is the Start Here or Class Info screen. In this page, we have the syllabus, the schedule, and a couple other pieces of information. The email and videos is specific to our class, and this is how you can contact me or some support. It's very important that you read all of this information, as it's all very important to the class, especially the syllabus. This is the contract that you take for the class. It also has the breakdown of the class grade and things like that, as well as some important information in that. So make sure you read that. The schedule is what the class will go by. That's what I will follow, and I will use that for grading purposes, put in incompletes, things like that. So use the schedule to help you with that. So if this side pane isn't open, this navigation pane, just click this bar here. It's going to be a blue or a gray bar to open up this side pane, and then this is where you will navigate to whatever you need. The virtual classroom, this really isn't going to be used unless we need to meet online for some reason. And in this, you'll see two parts. You'll see the course room, which is locked right now. You can't access it. But if we do use it, I will most likely schedule a session, not use the course room. So you'll just click on a session down here, which will have some information, whatever will be there. The most important things you need to note here on Blackboard is the lecture videos and resources. This is the actual videos I would give in class if we would do that. This is where it is. It's separated by section, so you can find every single one there. Watch these before doing the homework. They will help you out. I unpack the ideas and work through some problems, things like that. Review quiz videos. This is literally me doing problems, doing the review quiz that you'll see in the assignments. So it's purely there for your benefit. You can get some extra support if you are struggling with a certain problem, how to solve it, that kind of thing. In addition, you'll see some supplementary information. The COC quiz we'll worry about later on. But for Math 1111, you'll see a reference sheet here. For Math 1012, you will see a conversion table and a geometry formula sheet. So these are just going to be useful for you when you're doing the homework, especially these for Chapter 5 and Chapter 8 and 9. This one will be useful for throughout the semester. It just has some key things to keep in mind rather than having you go back and look at it in the textbook or whatever. Now, the most important part here is the assignments. This is where you're going to be doing all of your work. If you click on assignments, you'll be taken to MyMathLab. And MyMathLab is it's a separate software that's integrated into Blackboard. It's made by these people called Pearson, and they created all this software that we use. So in MyMathLab, the first thing I would recommend you do is clicking up here in this top left corner here, this tab. Click this to all assignments. If you have it on just homework or just quizzes and tests, these will not show all of the assignments that you have in the class, and you can see all of them right off the first page, except for the final exam. That will not be shown until it becomes available, but I'm showing it here for your benefit. Now, the first and most important thing you need to get done is the class orientation and homework tutorial. This needs to be 100% before you can do any of the homeworks. And you can see this here with the prereq flag, the prerequisite flag. It'll show you what you need to have completed and what grade you need to have on it at least to open up this homework. So all of the homeworks have this 100% required. So right now, you can see the score here on this right-hand side is 95.24. I just need to do one problem on that, and that'll open up the homework. Let me do that real quick. Okay, and now you can see the flag is gone. If I check my score, it says 100%, so that means I can work on the homework. Now the section quiz, you'll see, has 70% is required from the homework to take the section quiz. That's going to be the case for all section quizzes. Section quiz P.2 needs 70% on homework P.2. And it's all the way throughout the entire semester. You'll see the final exam. This has a lot of requirements, 25% on all section quizzes. These will go away as you do them, of course. You won't see it because the final exam won't be shown until the very end of the semester. But you need to have at least 25% on the section quizzes on each of them. If you don't, you'll get a 0 for the final. So just keep that in mind as you're going through the semester. Now, let's actually look at what you're going to be seeing here for the homework or the section quiz. You'll see all of the questions that are there. If you click on the first one, and this is the main MyMathLab player. You'll see the problem here, and it'll give you some instructions on what to do. You can zoom in on it to see it. In this case, we're just trying to evaluate this expression when x equals 8. Now, there's a number of things in this that can help you solve this problem. First off, there's some accessibility things at the top right here that you can experiment with and look at. What's going to be helpful, this is also a homework overview to let you navigate. And then you can navigate between the next problems with these top arrows. But down here at the bottom left, you have help me solve this, which will literally help you solve this exact problem. It will count the problem as incorrect, and you'd have to try another one to get the point for it. But it helps you solve this exact thing. View an example is what I recommend first if you're struggling with the problem. It'll actually go through, as you can see, it goes through a number of parts, and it'll help you solve a problem that's very similar to the one that you're working on. Get more help. This is important for if you want to have additional information. The videos and the animation, these are all based on the textbook. Textbook will take you directly to this section of the text, so P.1 section of the textbook. And you can look through it. The textbook has links and stuff in it that'll actually open up videos and animations, as well as sample problems for you to work on. It's very, very interactive, very useful. So I recommend you look at that if you want some extra help. Calculator, of course, in print. Now ask my instructor. This will literally send me this exact problem. And it will say, hey, this is what the student is doing. You can type a little bit of information in there saying, hey, this is what I've tried. I don't know what to do next. Please do use this if you're stuck on something. I can help you out, and I'll try to answer it as fast as I can. Okay, if you get a problem wrong, it's just hopefully 0 is incorrect. Yep, it'll tell you some information like a tip or something. Hey, try this. Let's say you keep getting it wrong. You'll notice down here, I've tried it twice. I have one more try, and then it's the final check. If I do it again, I get it wrong, and it'll show me the correct answer. Now I can move on, or I can try a similar question. A similar question will repose the problem with different numbers, and you can try again. And the nice thing about this is that you can keep trying until you can get it correct. Once you get it correct, it'll be correct in the gradebook. So let me solve this one. I believe the answer here is 73. We'll check it. And it says well done. So I can go to next question. Let's just hang out here for a moment. You'll see the score is 1 out of 1 on this question. That means it's answered correct. If you want to try again, try another problem to make sure you understand, you can click similar question. And you can retry another problem with different numbers and see if you can get it correct. So 9 minus 7 is 2, 2 cubed is 8, 8 times 4 is 32, plus 5 is 37. The answer should be 37. Let's just plug in 0. And it says that's incorrect. Now, what you'll notice is that the score did not go down to 0. That's because once you get it correct, it should stay correct. There might be something you have to collect if we move on. So yes, we'll move on. And if it asks this question, always click Save Best Score. That will give you the 100% on the score. So if you click Save This Attempt, it'll actually mark it as 0. So as long as you don't do that, you'll be good to go. Save Best Score is what you want. And then you can move on from there. So like I said, with Help Me Solve This, if you click on that, it'll ask you to plug in some stuff and kind of work through the problem. It's what it's trying to get you to do here. So 0. And then on bottom we get 8, 9, 15. So it gives you 0. Check your answer and it says well done. And then you hit close and you'll notice, I was just checking something there, so it'll be a different problem here. This problem, if you hit help me solve this, it'll actually go through the problem with you. And then if you look back here, just keep an eye on that. If you hit close, what will happen is it'll change the problem for you. That means the problem will no longer be the same one, and you have to retry a different problem, but the same style, to get this score. So you actually don't need to, well, what you used to have to do is click a similar question down here. But you don't have to do that anymore. It'll automatically give you a similar question. So don't plug in the answer you get in here into there. It's not going to be correct. It automatically gives you a new problem each time you click help me solve this. So keep that in mind as you're doing it. You can hit save, and that'll take you out to the problems. Hit OK, and that'll take you back to the homework things. Of course, you can hit see score, and then you can go on from there. Make sure you get 70% on the homeworks and at least 25% on the section quizzes. The section quizzes will have a certain number of attempts. If you're late, you'll only have 3. If you're on time, you'll have 4 attempts at least. And your best attempt will always be safe. So don't worry about getting a worse score on a later attempt. Now you want to have at least 25% to take the final. If you want to keep trying more, what you're going to do is once you use up all your attempts, you're just going to email me. We'll discuss what might be confusing you, whatever the problem is. I'll work with you for a little bit, and then I can open up for more attempts. So use that if you want to keep getting better scores on this. Okay, going back to Blackboard. If you're on this screen, just hit the back button. It should take you back to Blackboard. You might have to hit it a few times. That was assignments. The e-text, I recommend you check this out on your own. That'll open up the actual textbook, the full textbook, and it's got a lot of information there that can be helpful. I think a lot of students don't necessarily use it. There's no real need, but it is there for your benefit. My Grades is the grade system through MyMathLab, and it is immediately graded. So whenever you do anything, it'll automatically reflect that in your overall score. The score that's in there is most likely, is most accurately to your overall score in the class. The one thing to keep in note is that any assignment that's not done is not a part of your grade there. That means that the final will never be a part of your grade until the very end of the class. So 20% of your grade will not be shown in there, but it will give you an accurate estimate of what your average is. So if you're to keep doing what you're doing, the score in there will be a pretty good estimator of what your average is. So keep that in mind. Later on in the semester, I will show you how you can know what your final grades are when we get to the final exam. Tutor.com, this has already been paid for, so you can use that to get tutoring services if you want extra help. MyMathLab, this is a lot of the stuff you've actually already seen here on the side pane. I have to have it here for the class to work, for these navigation pane to work. So don't really worry about this. It's not going to be very useful, but make sure the first thing you should be doing here is checking the syllabus and doing that first class orientation and homework tutorial assignment.